All right, I'm just going to follow along here. Well, what are we doing?
We're going to follow along.
I'm following.
Whiskey Tango Charlie, welcome to the show. And, you know, what we've heard from our viewership is not everybody drinks their bourbon neat, Charles.
Oh.
And that's important.
Oh, true. I'm just looking at this bottle sitting here. You brought it out, set it down, and I can tell right off the bat, folks, I don't know if y'all can see this, but it is sweating. This bottle of Benchmark has been chilled. It is sweating in the barrel room here. We're in a non-air conditioned space, and so that's sweating.
Yeah. So a lot of our viewership does not drink their bourbon neat. Most people enjoy their bourbon the way they enjoy their bourbon. A little bit of ice, a little bit of bourbon, and a little bit of ginger ale. And what we want to talk about today is, Charles, we want to talk about the mixers and the type of ginger ale today that you're going to mix your bourbon with.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is a first off, right?
Right.
So this bourbon here, or excuse me, this ginger ale is a Southern classic.
Man, Blenheim.
Right?
Blenheim.
So it is
That's a South Carolina.
It is a
born
South
and
Carolina.
raised
Yeah,
ale.
right. And
Wow.
you're not going to find anything better than this. So I'm going to pour this into this glass.
Okay.
Right? No different than we taste bourbon, right? We're going to taste ginger ale first. No different than we taste bourbon. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some Benchmark to that.
Wow. I like this.
Right? So our next choice is going to be a Seagram's.
Seagram's ginger ale.
Just a simple Seagram's ginger ale. Right? And we're going to add a little bit of that. Right? And then third, but not least, to help our friends out with the organics, this is an organic ginger ale, right, with a little bit of spice to it.
Spice.
Right.
Undisclosed spice or just?
Well,
spice?
it says spice.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So we'll enter into that as we look at this. This particular ginger ale is a per can, small can. It is a zero fat, zero sodium, zero carbs, 22 grams on the sugar, Charles, and no protein in that particular thing. So let's go ahead and talk about our first one, right? A South Carolina. There's no better.
No, these guys here, folks. I mean, look, when you poured this one and you poured the Seagram's ginger ale, this is like color, no color.
All right, let's taste it.
All right,
go ahead.
All right.
So if you have COVID, I have COVID, right?
Got it. We're going to get some alcohol behind it.
So this particular ginger ale that we're tasting today is just the generic brand. It does not have the red cap, which is a little bit spicier. Right. I enjoy a little bit spicier, but maybe not so much in my bourbon. Lots of sweetness jumping off on my tongue right now.
It's great. Not the hot one. I like that as you preference that. Not the hot. When you think about ginger ale, I think if you go with the corporate ones, the Seagram's Canada Dry, this has got a little more depth to it. So if you think about, listen, no, I'm not going to disparage on Benchmark because I love Benchmark, but Benchmark to maybe something that's aged a little bit longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could comparatively say Blenheim to maybe some of the corporate stuff there, a little more depth and complexity to the ginger taste, right?
Awesome. So let's move right along to this Seagram's. 130 calories, 0 fats, 40 milligrams of sodium, 34 carbohydrates, 33 on the sugars, and 0 on the proteins. And Charles, if you can look at this one, it actually has no color to it whatsoever.
It's very light, very light, pale yellow, pale. More lemony, more lighter fruitiness there, and that kind of stuff. You read all that. I was kind of looking at your volume. So 170 versus what'd you say, 130?
Yes.
On calorie size.
It's 130. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. Go ahead and read that too.
No,
Charles.
this one is just cool. 170 on the calorie, 41 grams on the sugar, and that was about 30.
Yeah,
a little more sugary content there, but 0 across everything else. So, organics.
So this is an organic.
That's a different. I haven't seen that.
This is an organic with a spice. This particular product, if we could speak to it, let me change some cameras here. If we can speak to this, 90 calories, 0 fat, 0 sodium, 23 grams of carbs, 22 on the sugars.
So lighter all the way across.
Lighter all the way across. So if we compare right now, Charles, the colors, right? So this is very compatible.
Yeah.
With our first choice.
Wow.
Right? Not so much with the corporate brand.
Nope.
Right? So I'm picking up some dirt smell. Truly can taste the organics in that. Does it taste like
right
dirt?
on the nose. It smells like, it does. It smells like, folks, if you remember back in your younger days, maybe right after a rainfall, you've been playing outdoors, but dirt, wet, damp dirt. That's exactly what you got. So less sugar. You can tell.
So, Charles, what I want to do here today, and really what our listeners have reached out and talked about is, not everybody drinks their bourbon neat.
Right.
So as they mix it with stuff, let's go ahead and we're going to add a little ice, right? So to be respectful, 4 cubes.
Okay, cool.
Right?
A couple cubes of ice.
4 cubes. Right? And 4 cubes.
All right.
Right? And for all practical purposes, we're going to add a little bit of this Benchmark. I do a 3 count. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? And we're going to go ahead right now and let's taste our first one, Charles. You want to swirl it up a little bit? We look like twins. We got the same color shirt on. You right?
Stop it. What? Stop. No, this is that's a tad bit sweet for me on my palate. I love the Benchmark. I love the right off the bat, I can't wait to get over here to the other side where the organics had the less sugar. This one really sweet, right?
All right. So this is the Seagram's.
The middle of the road. How did you do that, by the way? You just sort of laid those eggs out. We didn't really go study this.
No. So the idea behind this is we're gonna experience this the same way that our viewers experience it. Right. So you have a little bit more bourbon taste on that, at least for my palate. right? So I was picking up some of the oaks, some of the
right,
the
Blenheim, which I love the Blenheims to drink just the ginger ale. Might be a little bit overpowering for that bourbon.
So, when you say overpowering, do you mean we didn't add enough bourbon to it?
No, you did 3 counts across. No, you did 1, 2, 3. Scientific pour there, right? We didn't measure it, but just 1, 2, 3. Yes, more of the Benchmark, more of the oak, more of the bourbon, and number 2.
So when I first tasted the organic, had more of a dirt, more of an organic, more of that flavor to it. So it doesn't change the nose. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word.
I know what that means.
What?
If I
so as a certified bourbon steward,
executive bourbon steward, listen, I'm not going to call drain pour. That's not in my vocabulary, but that I wouldn't drink.
So again, I will say
dirt,
too much dirt,
earthiness,
like very earthy, right? So boys and girls, as we talk about today and the experience of mixing what it is you mix your alcohol with that spirit, with a water, a ginger ale, or your particular choice, truly does change the taste of that bourbon and what bourbon you do choose. Today we chose a Buffalo Trace,
the Benchmark
that we believe the mash bill is very similar to Buffalo Trace, a little bit cheaper price point, and we believe that a majority of our viewership enjoys a mixed cocktail. Please choose your mixer wisely.
This, just saying, that big Yeti full of ice, 3, 4, 5, 6 count if you want. Just saying, and some ginger ale, splash that in, and just go sit by the pool, folks, and enjoy it. Golly.
To the bourbon lifestyle, we hope that whatever bourbon you choose and whatever mixer you choose wisely.
Hey,
Charles.
Cheers, folks.
Whiskey Tango Charlie, we have an update as we were recently doing a video on how we enjoy different types of ginger ale with different types of bourbon. And my partner in crime here has really pointed out something that I've missed, Charles.
I said I think we should go back and try something a little more bite to it against maybe the little bit sweeter of the ginger ale, the Blenheim. And so I just did a little quick pour Blenheim ginger ale.
Right.
This is the Old Forrester Rye. A little more bite, a little more spice. And
oh Lord.
I did your scientific pour. 1, 2, 3.
Why are you always right when you do this? Is that crazy?
Okay. Wow. Folks, just saying, get you some of this Blenheim. Get you some of this Old Forrester. Get you a big Yeti. Fill it for the ice. Put it in there. Put you a couple of splashes of that good old rye. and sit by the pool and have a daggum good day. Wow.